Hello and welcome to my 15-day shadow challenge. Unveil your hidden powers, transform your shadows into your strengths. Let's talk on day one about what are shadows. Now, I know if you've been following me for a while, this will be a repeat, but sometimes, you have to hear something a bunch of times before it really sinks in. Shadows are the repressed pieces of ourself, of who we are, that other people didn't like or that we got made fun of in school growing up, because they usually form from 0 to 8, 0 to 9, because at that point, there's nothing in your mind, you have no block set up. Nothing has been set up yet in your brain to keep things from coming in. So everything that you hear, even when you're like 6 months old and people are talking around you, you hear that and it gets locked in. So if they say something like, man, she's a slow walker, is she ever going to learn to crawl? They hear that, oh, isn't she a chubby little kid? That gets locked in. So you always have to be careful what you say around little ears. But this is the pieces, and you don't even know they're buried there, but within your shadows are usually your gift. Usually it's who you are. And you shine so brightly as children that not everybody likes that. Now, how do you recognize your shadow? We're going to talk a lot about this, but just, a real quick description on how to recognize it is if somebody mirrors something back to you that lights you up. Let me give you an example. I was on the phone a couple of weeks ago and I was talking to somebody. And I was like, well, we just really want to recognize you. And she's like, I hate to be recognized. I don't need to be recognized. Just tell me I'm doing a good job and I'll move on. And in my mind, I thought, wow, there's a shadow there, because the things that we lock away that were rejected by others come out of us in anger, because our subconscious is saying, no, 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 we don't want to be that person. No, no, we don't want to be the person that seeks recognition. It's the same with confidence. I have always been confident, but growing up, I was always told, well, aren't you a show off? Look at you showing off. So when people used to say you were confident, I get mad and say, no, I'm not like that. No, I'm not a show off, because I related show off to confidence. But then as I got older, I realized, you know what, Karen, whether you call it show off or conceited or stuck up, it doesn't matter. For me, it's being a confident woman, and I have to walk that walk. So when you're trying to first start on this journey and trying to figure out what your shadows are, especially women leaders, I mean, you're my peeps. Women leaders, you're my guys, because I understand you. I'm a woman leader. I understand how these shadows get in our way and we don't even know it, because as we're climbing up the proverbial ladder, the wall, whatever you want to call it, as we're making that climb, we don't have time to look at our shadows. We're too busy trying to get business done. We're too busy working and getting it done. And so when, we run into a shadow, we just ignore it because it's just like, just a roadblock. But we're going to get to some point in our career where we're going to get stuck. You could get stuck that you're in the same position you've been in for 3 or 4 years after being used to rising really fast. Your salary may not have increased that much each year. There's a shadow there. You start getting reviews that aren't the best, and you're like, what the heck changed? Your shadows are starting to come out, and you're getting stuck. And that's why I help women leaders to get unstuck, because once you can figure out that little thing that's kind of gnawing in the back of your brain, once we get that, look at it, and we, look at your shadow archetypes and pull it out and heal it, then you're going to take off like a rocket ship to Mars. I mean, you'll be amazed at how many women I have coached that they'll be like, I can't break through at my company. I just can't seem to get a promotion. We'll do the shadow work and bam, they get a promotion. Or they'll get another job offer to a better job paying more. Or for women that are, have their own business, they're like, I've been stuck at 6 figures. I've been stuck at 7 figures forever. I can't figure out what it is. After doing shadow work and we figure it out, you take off. Because as long as you have that block, that thing holding you back, keeping you stuck in place, it's hard to move forward. So we're going to spend the next 14 days talking about this. I also, at the end of this, just so you guys all know, it's coming up, I'm going to debut my new online course. And of course, I'll be selling the new online course. But before we get to that point, I want you to know how it's going to benefit you to do the shadow work. When I learned about shadows and how profoundly it can change your life, I think, man, why didn't I learn this years ago? Gosh, I would have been much further in my career, much further income-wise, much further everything, because I wouldn't have been playing small. And it's hard to say, well, Karen, you're a CEO, you're out front all the time. But I could have been so much more if I would have realized what I was stuck with. So we're really going to spend the next 15 days talking about it. This is day one, so I'm posting this all over everything. But if you want to, join the party, it's over on my free group, Circle of Women Leaders. We'll be talking about it over there. I'll be occasionally posting to LinkedIn and YouTube, but I'm going to keep most of it. Wait, I just contradicted myself. I'm going to keep it on my free Facebook group, Circle of Women Leaders, and post it to LinkedIn. My apologies. So if you have any questions, please ask. This is your 15 days to kind of figure out what keeps you stuck. You want to take that victim mentality and become a victor. You want to quit blaming. I was at lunch with somebody and we were talking about, she was telling me, so many people blame. They don't accept responsibilities because there's shadows there. They weren't taught how to accept responsibilities. They weren't taught to say, you know what, that's on me. That's on me. I'm going to own it, but I'm going to work through it and I'm going to improve it. So we're going to work together. We're going to heal these shadows and turn your shadows into strengths. And when you find out where your gift of why, I promise you, it's life-changing. If you have any questions, let me know. I would look forward to spending the next 15 days with you. And here's to you finding your blue rose. Take care, y'all.